Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Lifa, and today I'm going to be presenting about an article or a news article that I have read lately or recently, let's say. And this article was a very interesting article. The title of the article was called "Should Companies Track Employees' Health?" And the answer for that was no. Interesting, right? So I got more interested and therefore I decided to read on about this article. So, what was this article about? This article was about the increase in health-related data gathering by companies. Many companies nowadays gather data about their employees' health. How do they do this? By using certain apps where employees can download them on their phone and put in information about their sleeping, how many steps they take. So every health data gets gathered by this app, and then employers can use this data. But there's a problem, and that problem is that there needs to be rules for protection against workers. And many workers, many employees, feel pressure to share this data. So many employees don't really want to share this data. They feel pressured because they feel like if they don't share it, then they might be getting fired or something. And this data can also predict future performance of the employee. So many employees do not like the idea of health data being gathered by employers. But what do employees really think about it? So when we ask this question, there are two types of employees. One type that think, wow, this could improve well-being of my health. I can get better, I can get healthier. The company does really think of my health. But some employees think this is a control over employees' social life. This is a control over my life. Now my employer can see all of my health data. And many employees don't like that. Let's see why. Why many employees don't like that? Because there's a negative side to this. So what is the negative side of this that can just be very healthy and improve well-being? Well, the negative side is that it can be misused by employers. Yes, of course. There can be instances where the employer can see a health problem and misuse that in other work context. And therefore, there can be negative inferences drawn from such data of employees. And it can also lead to discrimination. And I don't think any employee really like to be discriminated. So, in the article, it states that many of these data get used in the context of workforces. So these data get used for workforces such as hiring, firing, promotion, and pay rise. So let's say the employer sees that the employee is not doing so well healthy, they can discriminate the employee by not hiring them, or by, for example, by not raising their pay when they ask for it, because they think in the future something might happen to them and it would be risky for the company. But many companies, of course, force these apps on people. But the question arises in the article is here: how can employees protect their data? And is there a way, really? And the answer to this question is yes. There is a law called the General Data Protection Regulation, so the GDPR regulation. This GDPR law has many benefits, and it is based upon personal informations and details that you want to share. So this law helps you be able to choose the data being or see the data being held from your employer, or control the data that you want to share with your employer, or anybody else. Actually, this rule is also for customers, not just employees. But then you could also not just control your data that is being shared, but also delete which data you don't want to be there. So this is a way for employees that can protect their privacy and what kind of information they want to be sharing out there with their employers. In the article, it states that there are other solutions rather than data being gathered of their health, of their employees' health. So there are other ways to solve and help your employees to be well improved and healthy. And so we can use technology in benefit of our employees. How can we do that? For example, we can have a break from disk type of technology where you can see or you can track or give recommendation to the employees that they need to take some time off their desk and maybe take a walk or stretch or do something else than sitting on their desk all day. This can ensure a good health improvement of workers and raise productivity of workers. Another way that they can solve the solution is by anonymous data. So they can still gather health data, but rather make it anonymous and not focus on one individual, but the whole employees as a group in the company. And another idea that I came up with from an article by, I have put the references in the last slideshow, but another article is from Fitness R, which talks about another solution for employees' health and well-being, which is gym membership. Now, gym memberships are proven to be very effective, and if you see the next slide, the benefits of gym membership, so you can see that in the chart or in the graph, you can see that employees' engagement by frequency and type of exercise. So you can see that if they never work out, employees that never work out, how their productivity is lower than 60%. But employees that do work out, maybe once per week or once per year, like less than once per week, several times per week, or every day. Sorry for that. So you can see that people that work out every day and engage in sorts of workouts, they have a higher productivity level above 60%, so from 70 to 80 to 90 even percent. But people that never work out are lower than 60%. And that's what you can see that are the benefit of gym membership. So that could be very effective for employers to have in their company. And then, so in conclusion, the article was about how these data being gathered by companies are an invasion in the employee's private life. Of course, everybody has a right to have a private life, and luckily enough for employees, there's a law to protect that, and the law is called the GDPR. And this is very crucial for employees to be aware of, because these data does not just get being gathered occasionally, but also in your spare time, not just while working. And the usage of data can be against the employees, so that's why it's important for employees to be aware of this. And we have some discussion statements. So the first one is the usage of health tracking apps should be banned by the government for companies to use. The second was companies should make use of health apps and use them in their advantage. What do you think? Let's discuss together. And you can see the last slide, which is about sources. Thank you for listening, and I would like to see you in another presentation maybe, hopefully soon. Goodbye. Hope you enjoyed it.